Hey kids, today we're making dinosaur eggs that fizz when you open them. Really cool. We're using baking soda, food colouring, sand and water. I'm going to start by putting 1 cup of baking soda into each bowl. I'm making 2 different batches because I want 2 different colours. It looks like I'm using lots of baking soda here, but that's only because I don't have the right measuring spoon. Now I'm going to add 1/4 cup of sand to each bowl. You can choose any colour you like for your eggs, but I want to do 1 lot blue and the other lot green. Start by adding just a few drops, and if it's not dark enough, you can add more later on. Now we're going to add some water. You want to do this really slowly, because if you add too much, the mixture will be too wet. You want it to be quite dry. Now we're mixing up the batch of green. I added too much water here and had to go back in and add more baking soda and more sand. But I think it must have still been too wet because my eggs didn't turn out how I thought they would. Now I'm going to fill up the eggs with the mixture. Using a spoon or your hands, fill half the egg with the sand and baking soda mix. Get your dinosaur and poke it into the egg. The first dinosaur I'm using is a Stegosaurus. Then you're going to cover it over with more mixture so that none of it is showing, and you're going to fill the second half of the egg as well. Join the 2 halves of the egg together and put it to the side. I mentioned these eggs didn't turn out how I thought they would, and I think the key is that they really need to dry. You're supposed to leave them overnight, which I did, but I don't think they got enough air dry time being encased inside the shells. So I actually went ahead and made another batch of eggs by shaping them with my hands and just putting them on a tray. I also used even less water than I did here, which seemed to work really well. Overnight they dried and hardened, and they were ready for us to open in the morning. My hands turned bright green and blue from the food colouring, but it washed right off. This egg was half blue and half green. It looked really cool. So they look really cool, but like I said, I had better success shaping them with my hands and putting them on a tray to dry. Here are our eggs. They turned out a really nice colour. Some are more blue than others, and the green ones are like moss. In the spray bottle I have vinegar, just plain white vinegar, and I also have a digging tool. The vinegar is going to react with the baking soda in our eggs, which is hopefully going to make our dinosaur excavating easy. I also have a bowl full of vinegar and water because I want to dissolve one fully this way. See how it's starting to bubble and fizz? That's a chemical reaction between the baking soda and the vinegar. And here's our first dinosaur. Weston tells me that it is a Dilophosaurus. The water is still bubbling and it's got an awesome green colour. Now I'm going to spray the egg with vinegar. The surface of the egg is starting to bubble. Let's see which dinosaur is inside this egg. It's a Therizinosaurus. The stuff feels really cool. It's kind of chalky, and it breaks apart really easily. It's a pterosaur. This time I'm putting the egg into a stronger solution of vinegar to see if it will fizz more. Wow, it's really starting to bubble now. The water has gone a light bluey green colour. It's another Dilophosaurus. We have a Brachiosaurus in this egg. Thanks for joining in with this super fun activity. If you liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel.